everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Now it can be so easy in life to lose perspective on the things that are really important to you, your family and those around you. And it's especially common with gold and silver. Losing sight of the reasons why you started to collect gold and silver is so common. It's one of, in fact, the biggest pitfalls of gold and silver. So today we are going to talk a little bit about how we in the Backyard Bullion household try to retain that perspective, try to look at things in a different light. It's not always about money, it's not always about profit, it's not always about taking as much as you possibly can in life. There are a lot of people who firmly believe that that is the most important thing when it comes to precious metals or investing in general. But this last week for us here in the Backyard Bullion household, having to say goodbye to our dog Bowie was so hard. It gave us this kind of lift up in terms of the important reasons why we want to do what we do and why we do what we do in life, as well as stacking gold and silver. So hopefully this video will have some interesting, thought-provoking things for you to think about as we go through. Please feel free to share your thoughts and perspectives on investing in gold and silver. We are going to relate this specifically to investing in gold and silver and some of the pitfalls that we've seen, identified and looked at that are relative to us. It's important to remember that this video is just all about us and our perspective on things. It's not financial advice. Your opinion may differ from ours, and that's very important. So please feel free to comment down below as we go. Now, perspective when looking at gold and silver, I want to start with the first thing, which is it is very easy to lose sight of the reasons why you're buying gold and silver. It is overwhelmingly easy. It's probably overwhelmingly as well one of the single biggest pitfalls of gold and silver. I've said this many times before on my channel, it's very addictive to buy these kind of things. Shopping addictions are definitely a thing, and whilst not everybody will buy a piece of gold and silver and then they'll rush off and want to buy more, it is a very common thing. It happened to us. Not that we kind of lost perspective on it, but it can get out of hand pretty quickly, and if you don't carefully plan, if you don't have those exit strategies in place like I've tried to talk about time and time again on my channel, it can sometimes be a bit of a money trap and a pitfall for those of you out there, certainly if you're forced to sell at an inopportune moment. Now, that is probably the biggest single thing that I want to talk about here. Having that plan, having that perspective, why are you looking to purchase your gold and silver in the first place? What's the ultimate goal here? Now, it's fine if goals change, it's fine if plans change over time. I would be surprised if plans didn't change over time. You know, we've had a very eventful couple of years here in the Backyard Bullion household. My career path has changed drastically, and of course that has led to purchasing a lot more gold and silver than perhaps we would have thought about doing right at the start of this journey. So there's definitely room for things to change, but losing perspective on what the end goal is just really dangerous. For us here in the Backyard Bullion household, it is all about the long term. It's all about having something to have and to hold that preserves our wealth for the long term. It's not about making a short-term profit on a lot of these items. Now, of course, selling pieces of hand-poured silver is done obviously for profit, and that is something a little bit different to just getting, I see it a lot. I see people who get this idea that they can buy a bunch of silver coins, perhaps from Europe. They can buy perhaps some of these Oriental Border Britannias from a European dealer, not have the VAT, not have the taxes, buy in bulk, and then look to maybe sell on eBay. And I did that definitely for a little while back in 2018, 2019. Let me tell you, it's really hard to do and to make any kind of profit on. And I've pondered this numerous times. You know, you're buying all of this silver to sell a little bit more silver, to make a tiny bit of profit, to then buy more silver. Why not just take the silver that you've bought and keep it? That's the kind of question that we ask ourselves, and the one that I think is really important to look at. You know, having a little extra income stream is fantastic, is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to begrudge anybody who does little bits of coin flipping, but for us here in the Backyard Bullion household, it's not necessarily the most logical thing to do. You know, we have a strategy as it goes for the hand-poured silver business. That is a recurring self-sustaining business that is going to hopefully continue for a long time. It's brand building, it's something that we are passionate about, and the products that we make are, in our opinion, special, and that's what makes our brand. That's what it's all about for us. But just having things that you buy to sell that are fairly generic, or coins, I just feel like it can be coming across quite mercenary. Certainly if you are doing it specifically for profit, you'd be arguing. It's kind of one of the reasons why we've stopped, along with the fact that it was always very difficult to sort of justify with our tax man around it being a business asset, paying income taxes on the profits and things like that. I would much rather, if we're going to have a bunch of these, like the Oriental Border Britannias, hold them for a long time, have them as an actual investment, sell them as a capital release rather than anything else. So there's definitely perspective in that to learn from. Now, the next part of this video that I want to talk about is the meaning of things. That, I think, is the most important thing. And it kind of comes back to the flipping side of things. Now, if you are going to be flipping things, of course, like it's great to flip things like this, which are a bit generic. They have, limited mintage, yes, but they're not necessarily, particularly low mintage, and they don't have any special meaning to a lot of people. The things that you would have to sell, if they have a lot of meaning to you, they mean the most. Those are the things that are going to break your heart one day. And you might be in a situation where you are forced to sell these kind of things. And there's a reason why I've got this Krugerrand here on the table. So this is a half Krugerrand that was left to me and my brother by my grandfather when he passed away. If I can get it to focus. Come on, camera. Light is not very good today. There we go. Now, this is obviously quite a sentimental piece for us. It was actually the very first piece of precious metals that either of us owned, and we didn't really know about it for ages. We didn't know about precious metals for ages. So we both own half of this, so a quarter ounce of gold each. I am custodian of it at the moment. My brother is not necessarily a stacker, and he doesn't necessarily want or need to have the gold in his possession, but he knows that it's here and it can be taken, it can be liquidated, it can be bought off each of us. We can buy each other out at any time. I'd be quite sad if that actually happened, and I have no intentions of doing it, and my brother has no intentions of doing it either, but it's there, and it's something special. It's a connection. It's something that connects us to our grandfather, and it's very, very cool to think about that. So having the perspective on things that are important to you is just critical, because I know that if we were in a bind, we could of course sell this and have some cash come in, but that cash is not going to have that memory, it's not going to have that connection. And I know that yes, in the short term it might give us some relief in that immediate moment of what we need to achieve, but in the long term it would be a bad thing for us to do. And it's funny because we've now got this Bowie frame, this Bowie name frame here, and this was made as a prototype, last year or so, when we had this idea to do the name frames, and we wanted some prototypes, some demonstration items. And I'd always said that, we'll make them and we'll have them, and then I've got these letters to spare. If someone wants to have a name with B in it or W with it, we've got them and we can use them. I would be heartbroken now to break this setup. This now sits pride of place on our coffee table next to Bowie's little urn with his ashes in it, and it's so special to us, and it's something that we would never part with, and that's really important. The perspective there is invaluable to look to keep things going and the reasons why you do things in life. Making money is fine, but a phrase which I've always heard, that some of my family and friends have always said in hard times when things aren't going very well, it's only money. Love is what keeps you going. Love is what keeps things moving in this world. Money, of course, helps the world go round, but love is really what matters. So what can we learn from all of that, and how can that help us in our decision making when it comes to precious metals into the future? So, of course, if you're going to be looking to buy things that mean something to you, like hand-poured silver or special coins with special collector's items, collecting is very important in this kind of perspective side of things. A lot of collectors won't want to or will never give up some of their really, really prized possessions, and they would be as equally heartbroken if they sold one of their key shield-back sovereigns. Say, this is just a shield-back sovereign that we have acquired, but it's obviously been dipped or cleaned or not very nice at some point. You can see it's very, very Oh, there's my other dog Pickle shaking her head in the background. It's very, very, it's obviously been dipped, so it's nothing special, which is why I'm happy to hold it with the bare hands. But you know, it's having something like this which is special to you, which is important. So avoiding those kind of collector's items, perhaps having just some bog standard bullion shot like this. This is gold shot that we got last year to look to melt. And I thought about selling it or melting it and selling it as an ingot, but I quite like it. It's a bit of a memory. It is still gold at the end of the day. It does still hold inherent value, and we will one day maybe look to sell this. But again, it's perspective. So even small things like this can really hold a lot of value to people. So having that perspective is really important. When you are looking to buy something as an investment, make sure that you're buying for the right reasons. And it's okay also to buy things for that very long-term perspective, looking at things as a precious item to you, and it's okay to sell those things. That's what I want to finish on this. You know, if it's truly okay in your soul, if it's all right in your heart to look to release these kind of items at some point, that's fine too. It might well be that your personality type would see the sale of this Krugerrand left to you by your grandfather as your grandfather giving you something to help you with and to help you get through those hard times. And if that's the case and you have those memories, then that's fine too. The last thing that I want to talk about is holding on to what is dear to you, and whether that's healthy or not. Holding on to the back side of things and losing that perspective. You know, we buy precious metals for a reason, and if your reason is to hold it, to sell it, to make money on it, then you need to have a reflection on why you might not want to sell it if it is important to you. So there's definitely a lot to think about in this video, I know, and it's a little bit of a waffly video. It's a little bit of a philosophical video as well. Feeling a little bit philosophical still from this last week. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm feeling a lot better. So I put a video out last Friday. It was quite a tearful video. It was a really hard video to make last Friday. There were like 30 takes and I couldn't get through it, and eventually we did. We're okay. We are feeling happy in a way. Like, it's still sad, but we're happy about life. We're moving on with our life, and Bowie's helping us with that. And we'll tell you more about how he's helping us with that in due course. And my other dog's playing in the background. You can probably hear her. She's playing with toys. She's helping a lot too. But I just want to end this video by putting a real heartfelt thank you out to everybody out there who has helped us keep our perspective on this channel. And with, she's squeaking a toy as well, with everything that we do out of love for life and love for the channel, for what we can bring to you guys, and the amount of messages and comments that we've had come through, and emails, just people taking the time to send us a nice email to say that they understand that we're going through a hard time, and it's just really, really incredible. So thank you so much. So if you enjoyed today's video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. That would be very helpful for everything that we do here on the channel. If you want to see videos from us in the future, hit that subscribe button, and if you want notifications, hit that alarm bell. And our dog Pickle is now squeaking toys ferociously in the background. I could just sit and watch her all day. So thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic week ahead, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.